Hello everyone, my name is Marion, and I'm once again joined by my good friend Lynn.
Hello, hello.
And today, welcome back to welcome back to another episode of Reading Reddit Stories. Remember, I said before, we don't ever get a redo on the intro, so I'm keeping that. Anyways, today is another episode of going through a very specific subreddit and going through multiple stories. And today's episode specifically is going to be r/today I fucked up. Now,
How badly, though?
yes. But now, before we even get into the stories, we have our own personal story of r/today I fucked up. Or should I say yesterday? Well, no, yesterday I fucked up. Lynn didn't do anything. No.
I'm trying so hard to find something.
You didn't do anything. You were perfectly fine. But, so, here's the thing, right? Today is a Saturday, and we usually record these episodes on a Friday. And that's because that gives me the weekend to be able to edit it and usually post it on Monday, but now I'm like thinking I should just post them on Tuesdays from now on, because they're honestly more convenient, especially since I have other stuff going on in my life. But, yeah, so yesterday was kind of a doozy. There was many different issues, whether it be audio issues, well, specifically as in, like, stuff going on in the background of my audio and things like that. But,
Crickets.
yeah, crickets. And we were doing fine for a little bit. Eventually I ended up moving into my room just to do the edit, because I usually record this stuff in my studio, but unfortunately it just was not doing well. So I just ended up going into my room, and it seemed like everything was going well. Like the stories were really good. I really loved the stories that we were doing. They were great. And then I realized that halfway through, Lynn's audio was not being picked up, and so the episode was completely ruined.
He was talking to a ghost.
I was. Oh my god, Lynn, I can't believe this. I can't
Once I'm
believe it.
transparent, my opacity is down to 5%.
Your consciousness is just floating about everywhere, and I'm just like, yo. And that's all I say.
Yeah, because you're hearing no one, because no one's there. Ooh, spooky.
Wow. But
Yeah.
besides that, we do have some more stories here. They're not the same ones from yesterday, because there's no point in reading those, because it's like, she already knows those ones, so I ended up having to pick some other ones. But I really loved the stories from yesterday, but I actually really love the stories from today as well. So yeah, and I think that they're going to be really good. So are you ready?
Well, yes.
All right.
I wouldn't be here if I wasn't.
That's true. I don't know why I'm talking like this. I'm talking like it. So how are you doing there, neighbor?
I don't know, buddy. We're doing pretty fine.
Ah, that's great. All right. All right.
Sucky accent. Anyway, let's
right.
do this.
All right. So, like I said, all these stories come from r/today I fucked up, and we have 4 stories here today. 2 of them I really love, and the first story that I'm going to be reading is one of those. And the final story will be the other one, because I want to keep the one for last because I love it. But yeah, so let's get into it. So this first story is called "Today I Fucked Up by Proposing on a Bridge Going Over a River."
I know where this is going. It's not like a genius. Oh, buddy.
As the title suggests, I messed up. I have been with my girlfriend for coming up on 6 years in October. For our first date, we went to dinner and then walked around town and ended up along the river walk. There was a swinging bridge that crosses over the river, and it provides beautiful views. Well, when we got there, I was recording the river and the surrounding area, and my girlfriend goes, "Please don't drop your phone," in the background. Now here comes the fuck up. I decided that a good way to propose is to recreate our first date. We head to the river and are walking around. I'm pointing out the memories from that night, like the deer we saw in the certain spot, etc. We get to the bridge and take in the view for a little bit. I'm waiting for people to cross the bridge so it can just be us in this moment. I ask her, "Do you remember our first date when we came here and I started recording and you said, 'Please don't drop your phone'?" She said yes. And that's when I grabbed the ring from my pocket, got on one knee and said, "Well, please don't drop this." As soon as I opened the ring box, the ring came sliding out, bounced on the bridge, and proceeded to fall in through the cracks on the bridge. Keep in mind this river is flowing fast, and it is not plausible to try to go in and retrieve it. I looked for 4 hours hoping we could just find it, just maybe, seeing it glisten in the water or anything. Hopefully it didn't go all the way through. She saw it hit the water, but I still looked and looked. Unfortunately, it's a loss at this point. This is the most expensive mistake I have ever made in my life, and I'm hoping I can get it replaced. We'll just take time. She said yes! We went to Walmart and got a $15 ring as a replacement holder for now. TLDR, proposed to my girlfriend on a bridge, going over a river. Ring fell out of the ring box as soon as I opened it, and it's now gone.
3 things. First off, can we do a round of applause for the attempt this person made?
Oh, sorry, that's slower.
Yep, yeah, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, chair. Great, perfect, not too much, not too little, romantic. Can we please normalize putting like a little bit of string, tie the ring to the box? Can we normalize that, people?
It's like a yo-yo.
I've heard too many stories. I'd much rather explain to my partner why the string's there than have to buy another ring. And second thing, can we normalize getting our partners rings that are aesthetically pleasing to them rather than the expense?
Yeah.
Because that honestly, my god.
Ay, Dios mío.
Like, but other than that, my god, that's gonna be one memory you're gonna take to your graves.
Oh, dude.
I'm already seeing now, little Timmy's at the fireplace. Grandpa's like, Grandpa, how did you marry Grandma?
Well, you see, son.
Well, son, I fucked up.
I kind of a little fucked up. You see, what I was planning on doing was I took us to the bridge where we first had our first date. Okay. And then the ring fell out of the box. But she still said yes, so it's okay. And that's the thing though, is that like she still said yes. So if anything, you know she's a keeper. Because after all of that,
yeah,
she was
absolutely.
like
Honestly, that's perfect. It was sweet. You clearly meant everything. And she clearly meant the world to you to keep it that sweet and that simple and that hilarious.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry for your wallet.
Oh yeah, dude. How much are like rings nowadays? I wouldn't know.
I know my grandmother's was some thousand because there's like diamond, actually a couple diamonds in the ring. Why can't we just
$10,000?
Why can't we just get like our birthstones or something?
It can go from like 6,000 to 10,000.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Like, I'll tell you this much. On Etsy, there's like this. Okay, so you know I like Boromans, right?
Yeah.
So on Etsy, there's this I'll send you a picture of it, and we just like pretend you're looking at it right now. Just pretend you're looking at.
All
it's
right.
Like, here, look at this.
Wow.
Yeah, right.
That's crazy.
But honestly, I would be over the moon, and this thing's like probably $20 to get 3D printed or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Much less than a normal ring.
Oh yeah.
Get that. Tie a little trinket or something with sapphire on it. I'll be over the moon.
Yeah. Like honestly, if someone proposed to me with like a nice like I don't know, like a Ronald McDonald like
Carton of milk.
Honestly, if they said, "Will you marry me?" and it's like a tiny carton of milk from like sponge, like that's like remember like the inner machinations of my mind.
Milk carton.
Yes, I would have been like,
milk carton.
I would have said yes immediately, dude. Like holy shit, that'd be so fucking awesome. But
yeah, I can see that for you.
yes, but like I like. Yeah, you fucked up, man. Like, sure, you lost a lot of money, and I feel bad about that. But at the same time, it's like, you know what? You got a great story out of it, so you win some, you lose some. Yeah, you got a great wife on you, clearly, because she was still like, still said yes.
Little mistakes like that are much better than fuck ups down the line.
That's true, but yeah. Overall, this was a fun little story. I feel bad for his wallet, but it's still fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, so let's move on to the next story, shall we?
Yep. Pause real quick. Sorry, I just found it. As soon as you brought this up, this came to mind.
Yep, there it is. Yeah, you did show me this.
I'm just gonna leave that there so you can add that later.
All right.
Perfect.
All right. But besides that, next story. So, this next story is called "Today I fucked up by getting pickpocketed in Paris and landing in jail."
Oh no. Oh.
Yeah. It was supposed to be a dreamy Parisian afternoon, meandering through the Montmartre, I don't know, with visions of croissants and quaint cafes dancing in my head. Suddenly, snap back to reality. Just kidding, it says reality snap back with a jolt. My wallet was gone, swiped clean by a nimble-fingered thief. Driven by a surge of adrenaline and anger, I made a split-second decision that would haunt me. Ignoring all logic, I chased after the culprit through the bustling streets, dodging pedestrians and ducking into narrow alleyways. Miraculously, I caught up to him and confronted him, demanding my wallet back. What followed was a straight out of a cliche action movie. Heated words in broken French, a scuffle, and yes, even a baguette swung in defense, though sadly, not by me. In the chaos, I managed to wrestle my wallet back, but my victory was short-lived. Before I could savor my triumph, the sound of police sirens shattered the scene. Turns out vigilantism isn't exactly smiled upon in the heart of Paris. Amid confused explanations and awkward language barriers, I found myself in a cramped jail cell surrounded by fellow tourists and disgruntled locals. Hours later, after much bureaucratic ado and a crash course in French penal code, I was released with a warning about the perils of taking justice into my own hands. As for the pickpocket, well, he likely slipped away to pick another day. Lesson learned the hard way. Next time, I'll secure my belongings and leave crime fighting to the professionals. Or at least refrain from swinging baked goods in the pursuit of justice. TLDR, I got pickpocketed in Paris. Chased down the thief like a wannabe action hero, ended up in a French jail cell for my troubles. Lesson learned, let the professionals handle crime and keep my baguette-swinging urges in check.
I don't. Other than the epic pastry beatdown, I have nothing to say about that.
I got a little bit to say, actually.
You go for it, buddy. I'm staying out because, again, I've had friends out of state, but the way the law works in different places is beyond me. So I only know what goes down here, and usually around here, vigilante work is the only way you're going to get that wallet back.
I mean, yeah, it's the only way you're going to get a wallet back in general, because, like, when this actually brings up a good story. This happened to me a while back, and by a while back, I mean middle school, which was a long time ago at this point. One time in middle school, I, like a complete and utter dumbass, would keep my phone in my backpack, for some reason. I could have just kept it in my pocket. I don't know why I did that. But, yeah, I had it in my pocket, and by the time you know it, I checked my backpack, and the phone was gone. I had gotten my phone stolen because I kept it in my backpack.
Yep.
And the thing was that I reported it the next day instead of reporting it the same day, because then very well they could have had like a whole thing of where they checked everybody's backpacks and checked all like for stolen phones and things like that. But if it was the next,
Was it like a period of time or something, like the time limit most crimes have for some reason?
it's more like a thing where like, because reporting it to the office the next day is like, what are they gonna do? It's gonna be like, oh, okay, well, sorry. You know, like they can't just like start anything there, because if it was like the same day when it happened, then like they can immediately have a thing where it's like someone goes into every classroom. It's like, all right, I need you guys to empty your bags and things like that when you're trying to find a stolen phone. And I very easily could have gotten my phone back at that point, but unfortunately, since I reported it the next day, there was no way I was ever going to get it back. And
Yeah.
and so this guy immediately running after this guy with his wallet, honestly, like I think he's justified, but obviously in other parts of the world, I guess they don't take vigilantism very seriously. But well, as he says here, because he got thrown in jail.
Yeah, that or they take this type of stuff more seriously than most people do. It does depend where you are in America because most states are very different. And it also depends where you are in those states because
Yeah, as far as vigilante, like as far as what this guy did here, I think he was perfectly justified and honestly.
oh yeah,
Because like
absolutely.
it's so much. But here's the thing: it is so much. Like here's the thing: if he had done this here, like in America, you know, where he can speak to the people, because unfortunately, it seems like as if he's not very good with French.
The language barrier.
I feel like the language barrier made it a little bit worse because they were looking at this guy and they were like, I have no idea what the fuck this guy's saying. But also, he just beat the shit out of this guy, so we're gonna have to take him in anyways. So.
And then also the rap most Americans have outside the country.
Yeah, and so, like, I honestly can see, like, the situation probably being less worse around here, but then again, you never know when this type of stuff, because it just gets into a whole complicated smorgasbord of just like, well, what if this, this, and this? And it's like, yeah, but...
And depends where here, too.
Yeah, but, yeah, in all honesty, I would say that, yeah, I think that he was completely in the right here to do this. But obviously, he still got fucked up anyways, because he still ended up having to stay in a jail cell for quite a little bit. So
Yeah, absolutely. The best I can say for anyone who's traveling, do extensive research. I'm not just saying like, oh, there's this one bakery that looks great. No, I'm saying about the law too.
Not just that, but also secure your stuff.
Yeah,
Don't keep it.
secure your
Yeah,
stuff. Do research on literally everything just so you don't fuck up because that's a big thing these days.
I think it just makes sense. Like, don't keep your wallet in your back pocket ever, or your
Oh, yeah,
phone.
no. I don't think I've ever put my phone in my wallet in general. I usually walk around
There's
with
a
a
car.
fanny pack or something.
Sorry, there's a car going by as you were saying
Okay.
that. No, you're good. Like, wait, hold up.
Okay.
All right, I think it's gone. But
Yeah, like in general, I don't think I've ever put my phone or wallet in my back pocket or in my pockets in general. Like I put my earbuds in my pockets, but for the most part, I just carry my stuff around in a hip bag.
yeah, and yeah, just don't keep your stuff in your. I mean, then again, I don't know how exactly this guy pickpocketed, but I would say it's much harder to pickpocket when you have your wallet in your like front pocket. So yeah,
Yeah.
don't keep your wallet in your back pocket, kids. If there are kids watching this, I don't know why you're watching this. Oh, what are you doing here?
For any weirdo teens who find us humorous, note to self: keep your stuff in your bag and keep your bag close to your body.
Especially in LA.
Oh, absolutely.
Like yeah, especially in LA. So yeah,
Any
cause
big city.
yeah, any big city, honestly. So, but
I
yeah,
always have those crafty kids that went to Magic 101. It's like, oh, I know how to slip a coin out of your pocket and then take it out of your ear.
what?
I don't know.
What are you talking about?
Magic next door.
Okay. All right. Anyways, next story. So this next post is a bit of a doozy. It's actually a rather long one too. Uh, this one is called "Today I fucked up by throwing away the best relationship I never had."
Well, if you never had it, well, how did you fuck it up?
Well, I guess we're about to find out. I don't want to equate the pain of a situationship ending to a real relationship breakup, but it really hit me hard. I've been trying to figure out why it's left me so depressed, and I think I've gotten to the core. Since we were never officially dating, I was still able to idealize her as a potential perfect partner, mixed in with the regret of never trying to make it official because I was resistant of commitment and going through a rough time in life, so I felt deep down that I wouldn't be a stable enough partner who can give her the time and energy they deserve. I did communicate this, and they said that they understood, and were also not ready for proper commitment after the ex had cheated on them, and they were going through some big changes, so wanted to remain single as well. We saw each other maybe once every 2 months for about 2.5 years and had fun together, messaged about once a week until earlier in the year when they expressed that they wanted something more and were wanting to see me more often, but again, I kept distance and wasn't able to give them what they wanted. There was a dumb worry in my head that we might take it to the next level, only to realize that we aren't compatible in a relationship, and had some respects wasted the last 2 years holding on to hope. I guess I was worried that the reality wouldn't line up with the fantasy, and I liked having her as sort of a backup, but not in the sense that she was just a disposable bed warmer until I met someone better, more like someone I saw myself ending up with but not being with right now. It doesn't make much sense. Then one day, 2 months ago, I no longer had to wonder because I received a long message informing me she had reconnected with someone from school and that they were going to be trying to be exclusive. She finished it by saying that she wishes that we could have made it work, and thanks for all the fond memories. It was like a dagger to the heart. Suddenly, the fog cleared, and I realized that I'd thrown away a pearl because I didn't like the smell of oysters, aka all of my issues clouded my judgment. She was one of the most beautiful women I had ever seen, and had such an easygoing yet caring personality. What was I thinking? I've had several dreams in which we are happy together, and when I wake up, I'm crushed by the reality. Okay. But I was amicable and sent her a message telling her I understand and respect her decision and thanking her for the good times, and I really wish now that I had given her what she deserves, but I just wanted her to be happy, whether that's with me or someone else. A star in someone else's sky, since we both like Pearl Jam. She liked my message, and that was that. For whatever reason, the second month has been harder than the first one. I guess the reality has sunk in that they're out of my life for good. Every time I think about them or see something that reminds me that I get a bolt of pain across my chest. I've been trying to tell myself that if I really wanted to be with her, I would have pushed to make it exclusive. But I don't know if I believe that. I think my avoidant attachment, anxiety, and life circumstances really just got in the way of my better judgment. I suppose in a way you could say that my fear of losing her became a self-fulfilling prophecy. Last night I wrote out a Hail Mary message expressing my regret and feelings for her. I thought that either she might feel inspired to see me again, or at least tell me that things were going well with the new guy, and it would serve as some type of closure. I was planning to send it, but I decided against it, thankfully, because I don't want to make her conflicted either. And I really just want her to be happy since she's had such a tough life. But it fucking kills me. I've gone on 2 dates in the last month, and they were nice ladies, but it just feels like I'm trying to fill a hole in my heart. I feel like a standard breakup would be almost easier because at least you could tell yourself that you gave it your all and there was some sort of incompatibility or infidelity or something that broke it apart. She will always be the one that got away because I never held on to her. Writing this has been cathartic, but if anyone else has any advice that might help, send it my way. And in case anyone needs to be reminded, appreciate what you've got before it's gone. TLDR, I had a 2.5-year situationship with a lady who seemed pretty much perfect because of my avoidant attachment and insecurity, which prevented me from wanting to make it exclusive. Eventually she met someone else and I feel like shit.
Well, at least he sees what's going on here and he knows what happened.
At least he can see, like...
At least he's not going after her, trying to convince her to break up with this person.
Yeah, that could have honestly made it so much worse, because there's been many Reddit stories out there where it's like the one that comes to my mind was this one that Smosh read, which was or at least Shane from Smosh read, where he talked about this woman who had known this guy and she broke up with him because of lies that her friends had told her. And she emailed him like, "Hey, I'm back in town. You want to meet up?" And it's like, "Yeah, I have a wife and kid now." And she's like, "Oh, they can come along too." And it's like, "All right, you need to stop."
Yeah.
But
like, I'm happy he sees what's going on here. And there are over 7 billion people in this world, something like that.
About 8 billion now, I think.
8 billion, yeah.
Yeah.
So there are plenty of people out there he can find.
Yeah. And
there's someone for everyone these days, and it's going to be hard to find that person. It's going to take time, but time makes do. And in this case, he needs time to be able to self-reflect and rebuild.
Yeah.
And he sees what went wrong here, so maybe he can find another person and not let what happened here happen with that. And hopefully this person he lost made good with her classmate, her old classmate, and they're happy.
Yeah. Like, whenever... I don't ever really understand... I don't really get situationships, really. I don't really understand necessarily how they work, where it's like, it's obvious that both people like each other, but then don't try to pursue anything. And especially in this context, because it's like, he even says himself, it was my own insecurity that stopped me, because it was very obvious that she reciprocated, those feelings, but he felt like, it's just, like, I feel like it wouldn't be good enough or something like that. And it's like... and it's...
At some point, you have to bite the bullet with these types of things. It's hard.
And he was like...
But if you...
Sorry,
go ahead.
No, you go.
At some point with these things, again, I'm part of the ACE community, not fully, but, so I don't know if this is with everyone, but I know for a fact it's with me and the majority of people I see. At some point, you have to bite the bullet with this, because at some point, it won't be a friendship to you anymore. And that's not fair to the other person or you. So it's either bite the bullet, things work out, or you have to cut ties with that, because it's not healthy.
Yeah, and I think the thing for me that, I find the most interesting is that, he said himself, I was afraid that, we were going to find out that we weren't compatible enough, and so we didn't do that. And now he sees, oh, I should have done that. Because that's the thing that sucks about, type of stuff like this whenever I see it, is that it's like I said, both of them reciprocated, and he was afraid, but what if it doesn't work out? And it's like, okay, so...
You never know until you try.
Exactly, and also it's like, now you see it's like, well, I didn't even try in the first place, so I don't even know if it would have, if it even would have. Because he even says himself, he feels worse, because it's like, I didn't get to see, really, if it would have worked out. Because it's like, if the relationship did end, at least you can look back and be like, you know what? I tried my best and things just didn't work. But here now all he can think about is...
You learn from everything.
Yeah, but here all he can really think is I let my own insecurities stop me from engaging in the relationship, And obviously he had his own things going on as well. So it's like, I don't blame the guy whatsoever, but I do feel bad for both him and her, because it was obvious that she was interested in him as well. And now she's went on to find someone else who hopefully she's doing well with. But it's very much a sad type of situation that I'm always afraid if I ever got into something like this, but I have a feeling the thing is, if I found out that a person reciprocated the same feelings as me, which first of all, I don't think that's ever going to happen. That's my own self-doubt. But
I'd be surprised if you never found anyone because honestly, you're a good person.
I guess. But honestly, knowing my self doubt, I'm just like, nah, I don't think I'm ever gonna find anybody. But that's me. But
And that's where having an over analytical friend can slap you in the face and say, "Wake up and look out the window."
there's a there's a man out there. He's
Oh
watering his
fuck!
plants.
Oh fuck! It's Len. It's Len.
Oh God, it's Len. It's Len. It's Lynn's evil twin.
Board the damn window.
I got it. I got it.
It's Len with one N.
It's Lynn with one N and an E instead of an I.
It's Len with one N.
But
Oh god. Anyway, but yeah.
yeah, like I don't know. Like I guess the most that you can say is like you can learn from this situation. That's the most you can really do.
Yeah, like it's a very sucky situation, but the one good thing from it is that it's a learning opportunity.
Yeah. So if there's anybody out there who's in this type of situation where it's like it's obvious that both of you reciprocate feelings, but it's your own feelings of self doubt where you're like, well, what if it doesn't work out? It's like push that out of the way and just go for it anyways. You don't know until I go for it.
Then if you don't, it's not going to be healthy because you're going to still have these feelings, and you're going to watch this person you had these feelings for move on far from you, and you guys may still be friends, but it won't be that way to you.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, because like I understand those who are like scared when it's like they don't know if a person does have the same feelings as them, or if and things like that, where all they know is how they feel, but they don't know if the other person feels the same way. Like I understand at that point, because it's like it can make things awkward and things like that. But when it comes to this, where it's obvious that she also, or the person is also reciprocating and being like, yes, then it's like, then you should go for it. Whatever feelings of self-doubt, just push that out of the way.
Yeah, and even if it doesn't work, it's a learning experience for the both of you.
Yeah.
And stepping away from each other as exes who realized, hey, this didn't work out, but now we know. That's much better than holding a grudge towards no one but yourself.
Yeah. And if you have your feelings of like, I don't feel like I'm ready for a relationship because of like personal issues, then that's a whole other story. But if it's just your feelings of self-doubt that is stopping you of being like, well, what if it doesn't work out? Well, what if this? What if that? What if someone else comes along? Push that out. Stop doing that. Stop it. Just kidding. But yeah, go for it. If you both are really, if you know that other person is reciprocating, if you definitely 100% know, then go for it. And if you don't let your feelings of self-doubt stop you. So that's the most that we can really take away from this story. And if the OP is watching this, which I don't really think he probably is, but I do hope you've learned from this. I very much hope so. So yeah, but
take a step back and look at this perspective.
Yeah. All right, so I had said we were doing 4 stories, but like every episode, I actually went 5 stories.
Whoa!
I don't know what's going on. We are very hyperactive today. Actually, no.
I'm drunk. I'm drunk while we're doing this, man.
Anyways, so this next story is called "Today I fucked up by food poisoning myself twice on the same meal."
Why does this sound like something I do?
No, trust me, I read this. I have a feeling you wouldn't do this. All right.
What, did he touch raw chicken, and lick his hand?
No, it's so much stupider than that.
Worse than the time I set a potato on fire?
Honestly, I think, yeah.
Thank God for that.
All right, but let's get into it. Obligatory, this didn't happen today, but previously. I bought myself some shrimp at the seafood counter, and that night made a nice teriyaki stir-fry with some veggies and rice. Since I made a few servings, but I live alone, I put the leftovers in the fridge for the next day. That night, I felt a little stomach sick. It was just a mild nauseous feeling, no vomiting or diarrhea, so it was uncomfortable, but not a big deal. Only, I wasn't sure if it was over the shrimp dish I ate, or something I ate earlier in the day, or just a stomach bug. or just my digestive system being fussy as it sometimes is for no good reason. Being the scientifically minded sort, I decided it was best to investigate. I had posted on social media about the meal and feeling slightly sick and how I was going to eat the leftovers. And many friends told me that was dumb, and I should just throw them away just to be safe. Obviously, these are not scientifically minded friends. Where would civilization be if no one had the curiosity to pursue scientific investigation? So yeah, it was the shrimp dish.
People with white coats. I'm not talking about the ones that give you a lovely little hug. I'm talking about the people who actually know what the hell they're doing.
So yeah, it was the shrimp dish. I was the sickest I had ever been after eating those leftovers, out of both ends with crippling stomach cramps. I was supposed to fly out to Key West for the weekend too and had to cancel. I lost out on a one night's hotel cost for the cancellation but got the rest refunded, and flight credit for the flight I had to cancel. I spent the entire weekend miserable and only barely recovered for Monday work. Now, I did have one last serving of the shrimp in my fridge. A less curious person would assume if you got sick twice after eating the same dish, there was something wrong with the dish and you should definitely not eat it again. I, being a more curious person, knew that you shouldn't rule out coincidences with 100% certainty, and to better verify that the shrimp was the culprit, I should try it again.
Yeah, isn't there a phrase that could be used here? Isn't it like, fool me once, shame on me, or shame on you, fool me twice, shame on me?
Well, it was, I think you were, I was thinking of the, like, doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results is the definition of insanity.
Just throw the damn shrimp out.
However, my less curious friends who heard of my plans insisted that I was an idiot and that eating 4-day-old shrimp that most likely had food poisoned me twice already was beyond moronic. I reluctantly caved and threw it away, thus setting scientific progress back years. Probably. Oh. TLDR, ate some cooked shrimp, then got sick, then ate the same cooked shrimp the next day, felt like I was nearly dying. Friends kept me from eating the leftovers a third time to truly complete the scientific experiment. He was asking for it.
I feel bad if this one ever finds a partner. Not for them, but for the partner. It's gonna be like having... What pet tries to kill themselves constantly?
Yeah.
Nah, rat. They're too smart. Ferrets? Nah. Hamsters? Maybe a hamster? They die of weird causes constantly. Yeah, this guy's basically a hamster. Even raccoons are smart enough not to eat the second time.
Yeah, like, first of all, if you ate it and your stomach was already not feeling great, like, I can kind of give them some leeway. Like, okay, I kind of get it. But then, like, you eat it the second time, and it's like, I was vomiting and shitting profusely for, like, days. And then you're like, okay, but no, at that point, you need to stop. At that point, this is not scientific anymore. You're just insane.
It wasn't science in the first place.
No, I think any science, like, this isn't like a new discovery he made. I'm pretty sure any scientist will be like, stop what you're doing. This isn't science. You're literally killing yourself. I don't know.
Why?
This was 9 hours ago, too, so this guy barely just threw it away.
Oh, God.
Like, for anybody out there, if you eat something and then you don't feel great afterwards, it's probably that thing. And I would say probably don't risk it and eat it again.
And the thing is, with sushi, any type of sushi, it's literally basically just raw fish.
Yeah,
that's what sushi is. It's raw fish.
Which isn't bad unless it has something going on inside of it, you know?
But it spoils quickly. And also, the majority of us should not be eating it. It's bad. It is bad. It can be bad.
Yeah, it can be.
And most people are allergic to it.
Yeah.
So if you eat it expecting to go be occupied for a good couple of days.
Yeah.
And don't repeatedly shove it in your mouth thinking, I don't think it was that.
I'm glad his friend stepped in, because, oh my god, this guy would have been in the hospital.
So bad for his friends.
You think they're friends with him because they're trying to stop him from doing stuff like this all the time?
They probably look at him and like, oh, poor thing. God, it's trying to kill itself again.
Listen, listen, like this guy I think is stupid, but all I'm saying is that just because I think about eating chalk all the time does not make me stupid.
I didn't even say anything. I have stomach problems, man. I wouldn't in the first place.
I think about eating chalk. I mean, I literally posted on the community tab like a few days ago, like I want to eat chalk, or like something like I really want to eat
Wasn't I
chalk.
yelling at you for that?
I think so. Oh God. All right. Next and final story. This one, I love this one.
Oh dear.
This one I actually read the night before after like the whole like smorgasbord of like your everything that happened yesterday or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So I love this story. So yeah, this was posted 2 days ago. So let's get into it. This post is called "Today I fucked up by buying a knockoff Lego set that my kids should not play with."
Oh dear. Now here's the thing, knockoffs. They can be really good or really bad.
Lead paint.
Can I just put up an example of a good Pokemon knock? Oh, wait, lead paint?
Yeah, literally, they're like, yeah, lead paint. Lead paint is cheaper than normal paint. I would not be surprised if a lot of those knockoffs have lead paint in it, or like even harmful types of plastic. A lot of terrible things in knockoffs, honestly. Like there was like I remember for some reason watching this like knockoff like video about Beyblades, even though I don't care about Beyblades. And this guy used like one of those things to like test out like lead, and like it turns I believe it turns red if you rub it on to like something that's made out of lead or has lead on it. And so he did it. Yeah, and he did it on one of them, and it just turned bright red immediately. So yeah, but I guess we'll have to see what happened here, shall we?
Why did my naive brain think immediately, oh, I mean, they're good knockoffs without even remembering the fact that most people are idiots and think, oh, yes, let's paint it with poison.
It's because it's cheaper.
You know what else is cheaper?
Yeah.
We have a paint from Michael's.
That's true. But
just get the generic 3 colors and learn how to blend, people.
Listen, if they're gonna steal
color theory, it's a thing.
Well, the Cricket's here, so yes, we have a special guest from Cricket, but hey, who cares? Screw him.
We're not tagging him.
We're not tagging him. Hopefully I can edit him out of the audio. If you can still somewhat hear him, I'm terribly sorry, but there's not much I can do. That's why we record earlier nowadays.
You have a fucking Cricket next to you.
Fucking Cricket. Anyways, so let's find out, I guess. I have kids. My kids and I enjoy playing with Legos. Well, they like playing. I just like building cool stuff. We've made a house, city, a zoo, etc. The other day I was browsing on an app known for cheap knockoffs, and because Legos are expensive.
She's not wrong about that, or they're not wrong about that.
As a kid, you idolized Batman. As an adult, you realize that Legos are really expensive.
They're not wrong. My sibling still collects them.
I have Lego, a lot of Lego, and yes, they are very expensive.
Yes.
Anyways, I often purchase the knockoff sets from said app. Of course, like all shopping apps, the algorithm shows me things I would be interested in based on things that I've looked at before. And on this day, it was showing me lots of cool block sets. There was a cool treehouse, a little cafe, a park, and an awesome vintage motorhome. You know the kind. 70s tan, brown, orange, and yellow. I loved it. I couldn't resist. I bought the not Lego motorhome, and it was delivered today. I was so excited, and as soon as dinner was over, I proceeded to build the motorhome with the help of one of my kids. Only one, because one is older now and doesn't often care to build anymore. And my youngest doesn't like the building part, just playing with the things that I build. So here I was, happily putting together my awesome vintage motorhome. I get the frame done, and then I start working on the inside. As I get further along, I notice that the inside of the motorhome does not look like a normal motorhome. There's no bed, no table, and no bench seats. No bathroom. There's a lot of jugs and crates and bottles, though. Now, I think it's important that I stop right here and explain something. I don't watch TV. I used to, but over the last decade, I've had trouble being able to just sit and get into a show or a movie. I'm aware of the popular shows, but I couldn't tell you any details about them. Like Game of Thrones, everybody would talk about it. I have a general idea what it's about, but I could not tell you specifics. Another show like this is Breaking Bad. Never saw it. I know it's about a drug dealer, but that's pretty much the extent of it. So back to tonight. I'm looking at this strange motorhome and thinking, what the heck is wrong with this thing? And then I looked at the box. The picture on the app I ordered it from didn't show the box. Didn't mention anything about a TV show or anything that would be telling, and to be honest, I didn't really pay any attention to the box when I opened it. The box says, Break Bad. That's when it hit me. Is this from that TV show Breaking Bad? Isn't that TV show about a drug dealer? No. Please tell me that I did not buy my kids a Lego set from a show about drug dealers. So I googled Breaking Bad motorhome, and oh, my friends, if you've watched the show, you no doubt know that it is so much worse than that. Google promptly displayed a picture of a 1986 Fleetwood Bounder that looked an awful lot like the one that I've been building this evening, and I read the description. The awesome vintage motorhome that I had built for my kids is the RV from Breaking Bad, in which Walter White and Jesse Pinkman cooked methamphetamine in. Yes, my friends, you read that right. I bought my kids a Lego meth lab.
Okay. Was that it?
Yeah.
Okay. Lesson learned. Much better than the paint thing you said earlier. Honestly, that could have gone so much worse.
Honestly, yeah. Imagine if it was like one of my kids is in the hospital right now for lead poisoning. It would have been like, oh shit. But no, it's like, yeah, I accidentally bought a set.
It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing, but luckily enough, your kids are probably young enough not to know.
Well, I mean, so I did read some of the comments, and apparently, so someone wrote, now begins the fun project of taking out the meth lab parts and restoring it to a normal motorhome. And this guy wrote back, this is exactly what I told my oldest that I'm going to do. I told her about my fuck up, and she thought it was hilarious. I told her that I'm going to remodel the inside and make it a normal non-drug lab motorhome. She's still laughing at me.
I can't blame her. I cannot blame her.
That car.
Brum, brum.
Jesus. Hold on. All right. But yeah, that's just funny. But by the way, there is a picture of this, by the way.
Oh?
And it's because someone else actually posted that they bought the set themselves too. Here's what it looks like.
I've seen that before.
Okay, but the thing that I love most, if you look on the left, you see that crate?
Hold on, let me... Why is it filled with blue bottles?
That's meth.
Why am I not surprised?
That's because the meth in the show is blue, because it's like 99.1% like pure or whatever. That's what's known about it, is that they cook blue meth. But I like, this is just kind of fun. This is just really funny to me.
Yeah, honestly, it's a Lego set. Your youngest is not going to know anything about this if you keep it to yourself and if your daughter keeps it to herself.
Yeah. It'll be a funny story down the line.
It'll be absolutely hilarious down the line.
Yeah.
But there are so many other ways this could have went bad.
Yeah, it could have been so much worse that I other things that I could have thought of, but like, just... Oh, that's so funny. You think that like when he went to his daughter and was like, yeah, I accidentally built the meth lab from like Breaking Bad. Apparently, his daughter just turns to him and just goes like, Mr. White, you're crazy, bitch. I can't believe you would do that, bitch. It's like, Jesse, you don't understand. I didn't know that it was. I didn't know it was a meth lab set. I didn't know, Mr. White. Oh my God, I can't believe you do that, bitch. Can't believe you do that, bitch. Anyways.
Yeah.
Hate that I just did that. But
yeah, when I'm thinking about knockoffs, I was thinking about like Pokemon level of knockoff.
Oh yeah, haven't you sent me some of those before?
Yeah, I have. Like, you can't blame me for thinking that, seeing the fandoms I grew up in.
Yeah, and like I grew up on like the other side of things where it's like my main concern with knockoffs is like, are they safe? Because they can have lead, they can have all sorts of like harmful shit inside of them, in all honesty, which is like the main thing that I'm concerned about. Along with that, they're very poorly put together. A lot of them are very poorly put together, and so it's like, you know, it wouldn't be surprised if like a kid accidentally chokes on them. Oh, that's awful. That looks like it's made like with like marker.
Yeah.
Why did they give Squirtle Poliwhirl's like swirl?
That's Swirtle, don't you know? That's not Squirtle. Who are you talking about?
I hate the fact that like I know enough about Pokemon to like point that out, but that's also because Poliwhirl's my favorite.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's yeah. I just think this is hilarious in all honesty, but
Me too.
this could have been so much worse than all. Like this
It
could
could
have,
have
yeah,
been. It really could have been. Because some of these knockoffs are just really just it's not even funny how
yeah,
bad they can get.
yeah,
But you can have knockoffs that give your kid nightmares, or knockoffs that send them to the hospital.
or knockoffs
Pick
like
your
this.
poison.
Yeah, pick your poison.
Yes.
I would just say just don't buy knockoffs. In all honesty, it's not a great idea because like it's just you're just not getting much for your money anyways. You know, it's kind of like buying like knockoff like Figure Arts or Mayfex. It's like why? If anything, you're just getting a shittier figure. Just like it's
Like,
like
here's the thing, though. There are some knockoffs out there, like some treasures.
yeah,
Because some people do actually make them a lot better than the company themselves. Like,
yeah,
I will say that much.
yeah.
Again, it's a gamble.
But yeah, I guess that's it for that story as well. And overall, I would say that this was a pretty alright like episode. There wasn't anything here that made me really go like woof, besides like the relationship one, but there was nothing in here that was like catastrophic, if you will.
Oh, yeah. This was funny.
Yeah. And so I guess that's pretty much it for this episode, but I will say there is one last thing I want to bring up, which is the fact that we are now at 200 subscribers, which is really cool.
Whoa!
Yeah, we're now at 200 subscribers, which is really, really cool. We reached it just a few days ago or so. And thank you to everyone who has subscribed and anybody who is watching this also as well, because like that is really cool. I'm really happy about it. And I do hope that you stick around for more stuff like this, along with other types of content that I put out, like that Mario philosophy video that nobody's watched. You get what I mean. But that's pretty much it for this episode, yeah? Thank you to Linn for joining me for this episode once again. All of our socials will be linked in the description below. Check them out, please, or else I will hurt you. I mean, I will be very upset. For legal reasons, that's a anyways, but yeah.
Look at the cricket. I'll have you know that while you've been talking, that cricket somehow got its hands on a baseball bat. I don't know how, but it's holding it right.
Welp. I guess we'll deal with that once the camera turns off. But yeah, thank you to everyone for watching this video. I hope you all enjoyed it, and maybe we'll see you again sometime soon. And remember, stay safe and sane. Bye.